Allman in the Morning. Common Sense Radio.
I don't need a whole lot of money. I don't need a big fine car. I got everything that a man could want. I got more than I could ask for.
Good morning, you bunch of drunks.
I don't have to run around.
8:39.
To stay out all night.
White bread and American cheese.
So good.
That's basically
That's
my
the
bio,
secret.
Todd Starnes.
Billionaire Chocolate King.
That too.
And Billionaire Chocolate King. Yeah, white bread and American cheese, real butter, free-range eggs. That's the sandwich for you right there, buddy.
That's what Jesus would eat.
Yes, he would. And standing in front of Todd Starnes' half-eaten egg sandwich, fried egg sandwich, is a guy by the name of John Pudner. And he is accompanied by the awesome Ben Singer, who was from Patriotic Millionaires. John Pudner from Take Back Our Republic. Had the privilege of having Ben on the TV show last night. Appreciated that for sure, Ben Singer. And
Thank you,
John,
Jamie, me
however,
too.
Had got the Delta treatment like Todd Starnes did and couldn't make it in, and so for the show. But these guys are swamp drainers. That's what they are. They are people who are committed and going all across the country, helping President Trump, helping Americans, and also doing it in a bipartisan fashion, because there are plenty of liberals involved in the project too, to drain the swamp and the corruption, crony capitalism out the door. John Pudner, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
So you, Auburn, Alabama, Todd Starnes.
Oh, God. Painful few years, Todd. It's been painful.
Yeah, it was painful. Hold on a second here, John. I got a present for you. Hang on a second here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, here.
All right, here we go. 56-yarder. Does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game.
Just for you, John.
Jamie, I'm leaving. This interview's been a success. Thank you for the time. That's phenomenal.
All right, so tell me what you guys are doing. Tonight you have a big event, but generally, the way people can get connected and find out exactly what you guys are up to, what's going on?
Sure. Well, takeback.org is the site, but we're a bunch of people who used to work conservative campaigns, started seeing the undue influence of big secret money in campaigns from overseas, too, and decided we were going to get out of campaigns after 20-some years and actually try to fix that system, address money in politics.
And this is something you guys have been working on. I mean, you had high hopes, obviously, in running some of these campaigns and electing politicians who would actually achieve the ends that you thought they would be achieving. But now, of course, Americans have their eyes wide open. I mean, thanks to the election of President Trump. But as I said last night with Ben, the iron is hot, and you guys are striking.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw a little of one of the last campaigns I did was one that defeated Eric Cantor, who's the majority leader. And my first call in the morning was from Steve Bannon. I went to my high school in Richmond to figure out how we did that. And we overcame $5 million with $200,000, but that's the exception. And when you start having outside money that's hidden, it's very hard to win an election at a time. You really need to change the system.
Well, and I will say that John won with a conservative outsider running on a real strong populist platform against that big money influence that's drowning out our voices in America.
Yeah, and here's the problem, though. Now you're in a situation, and I think President Trump is seeing that in all of its living color. If you're depending on the very lawmakers who have their elections, they have their contributors and big money contributors to thank for their elections, I don't think you're going to have too much in the way of reform right away. So you have to do it another way. How is that going to happen?
Well, ballot initiative is one. Certainly, Fred Sauer had we think a great one last year. We were up in a South Dakota race, and in South Dakota, you're allowed to have unlimited, undisclosed gifts and political contributions to elected officials. So, I mean, envision this. Give them a card instead of a campaign check. So, we were part of a team that passed a referendum to stop that practice, still being challenged in court. But that's the kind of thing. Sometimes you have to go past the politician, go straight to the ballot.
Yeah, so this past November, as John was referencing, question 2, Missourians voted overwhelmingly to reform the system of money in politics in Missouri. Fred Sauer, strong pro-life advocate in Missouri, wanting politicians to actually live up to the values of the people who live here.
Right. And ultimately, and the reason, and it's interesting now because we're seeing a lot more ballot measures, but ultimately, through your efforts and through your educational efforts to voters, ultimately you get the kind of politicians, or you're actually training future politicians to abide by that populist standard, at least in terms of talking about the people as opposed to their contributors.
That's right. Most politicians, the only way you pass laws is go around politicians, or to make the politician realize they could lose their next election if they don't go along with what the people want on this.
And so are you optimistic? And I know you guys, and this thing is, you guys have been trying to do this for a long time, but it seems to me like given the current environment, this seems to be the perfect time to start to reach out to people and see what's going on.
It's the perfect time, and to go right in with the administration on the revolving door, trying to shut that. Let's not have someone go in for a year, come out, and then lobby to get your tax dollar to overpay some government contractor. That's the kind of thing we have to stop. And
right.
I'm glad the president took that first step on a revolving door.
Yeah. Ben, how old are you?
I'm 29, sir.
You're 29. You know what Ben did last night on the TV show? He quoted Barry Goldwater.
Excellent.
I mean, those are the kind of young people we need. Those are the kind of millennials we need.
You want me to read it again,
yes,
Jamie?
If you don't mind, because it really did resonate. I mean, I'm telling you, it's an important quote.
I know. So, the quick one is, this government is your government. It's not the property of the elected few. But the one that really speaks to this is senators and representatives faced incessantly with the need to raise money to fuel their campaigns can scarcely avoid weighing every single decision against the question, how will this affect my fundraising? Rather than, how will this affect the national interest? It should be about our country.
Right.
Not about me getting reelected.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
John Butter, what's great?
What I saw 20 years ago, when we were recruiting candidates 20 years ago, you wanted people who'd done things for the community, could articulate, et cetera. The last few years got to be, do they have a bunch of money, or are they willing to hit up every friend for money and raise it? And we want to change that system, because right now they're spending up to 85% of their time raising money. You can't talk to your constituents. You can't solve problems while you're doing that.
Okay, so how do people help you guys?
Sure. Well, certainly sign up at takeback.org. We think we have a bunch of good proposals and ideas there. And we want to let conservatives know it's okay to be for campaign finance reform. That was our first hurdle early on, was, well, wait, isn't that a liberal issue? I said, they aren't liberal conservative issues. There are liberal and conservative solutions. So, we want to bring back the old Reagan-era tax credit. First $200 you give to a candidate, you get right off your taxes. Keep the first $200 you are going to give to the IRS and pick someone who's actually a good steward of that money. And so we need people talking about those kind of conservative solutions to campaign finance reform.
Love it.
And then, on my end, last cycle, I was actually working for Mayday America, named for a distress call for democracy, which is where we felt like we were at. And that was started by Republican strategist Mark McKinnon, as well as liberal Harvard Law professor Lawrence Lessig. So cross-partisan effort, that's a strong grassroots platform to help elect reformers regardless of their party. And so that people can find online at mayday.us. And then, of course, if anyone listening happens to fancy themselves a patriotic millionaire, we are getting a chapter in Missouri up and running. Feel free to reach out, patrioticmillionaires.org. You can go ahead and sign up and become a member, and we'll get in touch and start working together.
Todd Starnes, you're a patriotic millionaire, aren't you? I mean,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm a patriotic thousandaire, so I got that other.
That's what my dad says too.
All right, yeah, and John, you'd be proud of us because after the interview with Ben, not only did he read the Barry Goldwater, then we started talking about Calvin Coolidge and Eisenhower. So it was an absolute geek festival right there.
Absolutely,
loved it.
And let me, your listeners should talk about two things for anyone who doesn't think conservative can be for campaign finance reform. Constitutional Responsibility Project. I got called about all the dark money going in to try to get Judge Gorsuch elected. First thing I said to every reporter was, have you looked at Constitutional Responsibility Project, the ones who starred the TV commercials attacking him? That's all dark money. They are running secret money through without reporting in order to say they're trying to defeat Gorsuch because he let secret money through. I mean, it's absurd. So point that out. And the second one, there was a study of which 501c4s, secret money where you can spend up to half your money on politics, which were breaking the law. Big study done by Open Secrets, Left of Center.
Oh, yeah.
The number one regulation breaker right here in St. Louis. St. Louis Planned Parenthood 2012, 96% of their money went to politics. That's fine, but then you call that a PAC, and you reveal the people who are funneling their money through you. So conservatives have to understand the dark money, secret money, there's bad on the other side too, and everyone should be together on this issue.
Well, it's worse because actually what they're doing too is laundering our tax dollars, and that's all the more reason to defund them. And that's the pro-life angle to what I think is a really groundbreaking approach that you guys are making and taking. John Pudner, Executive Director, Take Back Our Republic, and Ben Singer, Patriotic Millionaires. Thanks so much for being with us, and thank you for bringing in Ola Hawatma, who definitely brightened up.
Thank
the
you,
studio.
Ola.
Check her out,
Now
Ola.
it's party time.
Ola Style, and who does some great things for our veterans. Thank you, dear, for being with us.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks for your support of the show as well. And you guys,
100%.
Godspeed to you, and take care, and go Auburn.
Thank you.
War Eagle.
War Eagle. Thanks.
All right, guys, take care.
Thanks, Jamie.